Yo, big ups, people. Big ups to you. Thank you again for watching another one of my videos. It's your boy Tarek, and I'm back. So I do appreciate you checking in with your boy one more time. Anyway, I started making these videos, kind of recapping my sports weekend. I don't know, a couple episodes ago, a couple videos ago, but now I kind of feel like I got to keep it going. So, obviously, I don't have time to recap every single match that has been played or every single game that has been played in every single sport that I follow. But I did want to take a few minutes just to kind of recap some of the ones that are pretty big or influential or whatever to me. I might just take these in kind of chronological order or the way just the order that they happened in. So, uh, doesn't say one is more important than the other. It just says that this is the order that they happen. So in that regards, first up was the Saturday noon Eastern time college football kickoff on Fox that would see the IU Hoosiers, my home state team, head to Pennsylvania to take on the Nittany Lions of Penn State. Penn State would come into this game, whatever you want to say there, number two. Well, they came into the season. Let's say the Penn State came into the season number two in the polls, right? They were only behind Ohio State. Uh, Won the first three games, but unfortunately, right after that, kind of the wheels fell off of their season. They've gone 0-5 since then. They've ended up subsequently firing their head coach, James Franklin. Uh, it's just kind of been downhill for Penn State since the beginning of the season. But even though the performances on the field have been poor, reality is they still have all of that talent that was ranked number two at the beginning of the season. And, it showed at the beginning of this game. It was slow going for a while. IU is typically a very high scoring team. They were being blanked, had to punt, uh, ultimately went into the half up 17-7. So you start to see them getting a little bit of a rhythm. You start to think, okay, IU's got the hang of it. They're going to kind of run away with it at this point. They go into the third quarter. Both teams effectively get a solitary field goal apiece. So now instead of 17-7, it's 20-10 at the end of the third quarter. Penn State would immediately go out and score 14 straight points to take the lead late in the fourth quarter, 24-20. Effectively, season or not even season on the line, but number two ranking on the line. IU has the ball. They've got to they got to win this drive, and then they got to hold out to keep Penn State from coming back. So they put the ball in the hands of the quarterback, the Heisman Trophy candidate, Fernando Mendoza. And Mendoza takes the team, marches the team down the field like a what do they call it? A field general, whatever you want to call it. He marches the team down the field and sets up for what would be a winning touchdown. He throws the ball to wide receiver Omar Cooper Jr. I don't know what year this dude is, but throws a pass into the back of the end zone. Cooper goes up, makes the grab. You can kind of see on the picture here, the defensive back is getting ready to try to push him out of the end zone because he's standing at the back of the end zone when he goes up for this catch. If the DB pushes him out of the end zone and he comes down outside the end zone, then it's going to be incomplete. So the defensive back begins to push him out the back of the end zone. But this dude has this innate ability, this insane body control. It gets his toes down. You got to tap your toes. He gets not just 1, but 2 feet in. And it's just an amazing play. Look, I wish I could show it to you on the video, actually show the play the video of it. I was making another video and got a content, not a strike, but I don't know, claim or whatever. So I'm not going to put the video in here because Fox will come after me, but you owe it to yourself. If you like college football at all and you haven't seen this play, you have to go check it out. It was an amazing, amazing play. Like I said, the body control by Omar Cooper Jr. is ridiculous, and um, they get the goal, get the touchdown rather. They get the extra point, so now they're up three, 27-24. Um, Comes down to a final heave into the end zone or tries to throw it into the end zone. It comes up a few, probably about 5 yards short. The I don't know if the defenders batted it down or just the receiver couldn't hold on at the end on the Hail Mary, but ultimately IU goes on to win and effectively breaks the hearts of Penn State because they thought they were going to win this match. I think they thought they were going to win the game. They thought they had it, and just as quickly as they had it, they lost it, snatched away by Omar Cooper Jr. in the back of the end zone on a heave from Fernando Mendoza Jr. It was literally it's a world class play, man. I don't know what else to say about it. It's a world class play. So that was on Saturday. Immediately coming out of the 12 o'clock kickoff, out of that big time win by the Hoosiers, goes straight into the 3:30 match, the 3:30 game on ESPN, which featured my Miami Hurricanes, and as they host the Syracuse Orange from Syracuse, New York. This game too starts out really slow, and quite honestly, it is a bit of a bore fest, if I'm being honest. It was kind of poor play by the Canes offensively all around, a lot of drops, just poor overall offensively early. I read the stat that said they punted on the first 4 drives. So they get the ball, they punt, give it back to Syracuse. They do their thing, they punt. 22 plays, no points, nothing to show for it. And then something clicks. They begin to kind of run off a bunch of points. They go on to score 24 points in the next 22 plays. So the first 22 plays, no points, and then 22 more plays, they have 24 points. It's interesting because the breakthrough score or the first score that Miami would score comes on a Carson Beck catching the ball for the touchdown, and his young freshman phenom, all around all world player Malachi Tony actually throwing the ball the other way. So it's kind of a reversal of positions and players and fortunes. Tony, who normally catches the ball, is now throwing it over to Carson Beck, who basically just walks in to the end zone to get the first touchdown, and then it kind of starts gets the team some momentum, and they start going from there. But again, if you got to throw a pass back from your receiver back to your quarterback to score, it tells you how far down we were, trying to find any kind of a gimmick play or a trick play to help us get into the end zone. So it was I was glad to see us get the touchdown. I was glad that they found something more to get us in there. But we got the touchdown. They go on to get Miami goes on to get this win in what looks to be fairly comfortable fashion. Right, it ends up being 38-10. Honestly, it was kind of tough initially, quite honestly. So it's 38-10, and that it did feel like that in the second half, but that first half was basically point for point, a battle. Really, really tough sledding initially. All around, the offense would end up scoring, excuse me, racking up 385 yards of offense. 261 of those are passing yards. 124 yards by the running backs rushing. Again, some of that is Tony out of the back, on jet sweeps or whatever it is. But so the offense would finally get it going. But ultimately, our defense for my Miami Hurricanes, the defense was exceptional once again. I think they had seven sacks. 11 tackles for loss, 2 interceptions, the fumble recovery. Again, the defense is insane. It's we can't have two good things at once, is what I've just determined. We had an amazing offense last season with Cam Ward and all those guys doing their thing. Xavier Restrepo, right? They were doing their thing, but the defense was lacking. This year, the defense is all world. Akeem Mesidor, Ruben Bain, all those dudes doing their thing, killing. But the offense can't always get it together or keep it together. So, um, again, like I said, it's no shock that the defense is still the strength of this team. But do got to give some credit to Shannon Dawson, the OC, the offensive coordinator, who did in this second half when after it was slow going, they did kind of open up the offense a little bit. Got rid of some of the really vanilla type of plays that we typically run, those very inside run heavy attack that we are known for or that we've seen throughout most of the season. So kudos to Miami, ends up getting the 38-10 win. And then was the big day, Sunday. Sunday came around and it's the big City versus Liverpool matchup at the Etihad. Uh, it was and is a huge match in the Premier League. And quite honestly, the thought was that the loser of this match was effectively going to be out of the title race already. It was going to be either 8 or 9 points behind Arsenal. Of course, then they go and they drop points. So that makes it a little bit better. But it was a big match nonetheless. And just in the way of what I want to call it, milestones, I guess. Pep Guardiola, it was his 1,000th game as a manager. So this is a 1,000th match that he's managed. I think well over half of those have been at Manchester City. So more than both at Barcelona and Bayern combined. So again, we know he's from Barcelona. We know he's a Barcelona legend and all those things. But Pep Guardiola is truly one of our own. He is a Manchester City. He should be known for his time at Manchester City as much or more than anything else. Again, it's going to be hard because his Barcelona team did so well, but I think we're right there in that conversation anyway. Anyway, to the match, basically right from the jump, right from the beginning, City jump on top, absolutely dominating the play. Of course, we go on to eventual 3-0 winners against the champions Liverpool. Behind that man right there, Jeremy Doku. Doku was the main man in this match right from the opening whistle. He got the penalty, draws the foul on the keeper, Marmadishvili, or however you say his name. He draws that foul on the keeper in the box to earn a penalty. You think that Haaland's going to step up and knock that penalty down. But unfortunately for him, the penalty was missed, or I guess to be fair to Marmadishvili, or however I say his name, because I'm probably jacking it up. But to him, kudos to him because he does save the penalty. So I got to give him a little bit of credit. But it was interesting because when they initially awarded the penalty, once that a penalty was awarded, the Liverpool players, they tried to ice Haaland, like an NFL field goal kicker. They called the timeout, if you will. They tried to delay. They protested. They whined. They complained. They did anything and everything they could to make him think about it. And while I don't like it, to their credit, it did work for them. He steps up, misses the penalty, saves the penalty, whatever. And that's tough because you expect him to be automatic there. I've said this probably repeatedly. I've said this repeatedly on Shades of Blue, which, quite honestly, you should all be subscribed to. Shame on you if you're not. If you're not, as soon as this is done, go over there and subscribe. But I've said it repeatedly over there that I think Holland, when he steps up to the penalty spot, he needs that rhythm. He needs that rhythm. It's like, again, because I'm an American and I talk about American sports too, it's like a basketball player who steps up to the free throw line, who has their normal free throw routine. Three dribbles, little spin, one more, then you take, then you're going to your shot. And if that routine gets thrown off in any way, it throws off the shot. I think that's how Holland is. I would have liked to see him once they delayed it, once kind of threw his rhythm off. He had the ball, and they got to go back and forth. I just need him to step back, completely reset, and then come back to the line, put the ball down, and then take his penalty with his normal routine and all the things that he would do without all of the stop start. I think that would be better for him, much like a free throw shooter who backs off the line, throws the ball to the ref, comes back and gets it and restarts that routine. Of course, that didn't happen. And, well, we all know what the outcome of that was. It was a save. So, regardless of what happened on the penalty, Holland would go on to get his goal in I think it's the 29th minute. He gets his goal on a great header. Well, on a header by a great cross from Mateus Nunes. The ball was put perfectly in there. It kind of deflects off of Kanate, but then it's headed right into the goal. Kind of a looping header from Erling Haaland. It was very instinctual, but he gets that goal. Then the second goal comes just before halftime from this man, Nico Gonzalez. Nico G takes that big shot from outside the box. It does deflect in off of Virgil van Dijk. But yeah, it deflects in. But big ups to Nico G for just being willing to take the shot. It's pouring rain. It's nasty conditions. It's wet. It's windy. It's rainy. Sometimes you just gotta take a shot, make the keeper make a save, and even if then, you never know what's gonna happen. So he takes the shot. Big ups to him. It deflects off Virgil van Dijk, but it kind of wrong foots Marbadashvili, and we get the goal. So we go into the break up 2-0. We go into the break up 2-0, but I should probably point out that Liverpool actually did have the ball in the back of the net. They thought they had tied it up at 1-1, drew even at 1-1 on a corner. Van Dijk heads the ball in. Maybe we're a little lucky. I don't know, but the ball gets past Donnarumma, but right in front of him, I believe it was Andy Robertson, maybe, who's kind of standing in front of him. He has to duck out of the way when the ball comes in so that he doesn't he's not offside. That motion, that action, that him just being there was deemed to be affecting the play. And so we were spared that corner kick goal, that set piece goal, and it comes back off the board. So I'm a City fan, so I have no problem with it. And quite honestly, if I'm being honest, if they called it against us, I wouldn't have liked it, but I would have been like, okay, I get it. Because I think I've seen that call being made other places and in other matches. So I know if you're a Liverpool fan, you probably don't agree with that. You probably disagree with that call. But if you're a neutral, or even if you're a Liverpool fan, do me a favor, get in the comments. Let me know if you think that I guess even if you're a City fan, for that matter, get in the comments. Let me know if you think that goal should have stood and it should have been 1-1, and then maybe we still go into the break up 2-1, or maybe it's just 1-1, and again the whole outcome of the game may have changed at that point. But let me know if you thought it was fair for it to stand or if it was rightly ruled out. Finally, this man in the 63rd minute, Jeremy Doku does get his much deserved goal. It's a curling shot from outside the box. Without question, Doku was the man of the match in this match. He was the best player on the pitch, regardless of uniform, or regardless of kit, regardless of color, regardless of anything. He was the best player on the pitch, period. That pace, that power, that directness, it caused Connor Bradley in Liverpool all kind of trouble all night long. He was cooking that dude over and over and over again. It was straight barbecue chicken all night long. Uh Big ups to that dude, because if we see him perform like that the rest of this season, again, not every single game is going to be at that level, but if we can see him hit those heights consistently, he will be in that best winger in the world conversation, best left winger in the world conversation. He will be in that conversation if he can develop that consistency, because when he hits those heights, dude was unplayable. There was nobody on the pitch better than him today. So big ups to Jeremy Doku, man of the match. And it wasn't, in my opinion, it wasn't even close. Anyway, City move up to second in the table, close the gap on Liverpool to 4 points. Excuse me, to Arsenal to just 4 points. Arsenal dropped points at the weekend on Saturday. They dropped points to Sunderland. And I think it was a 2-2 draw. So they only got 1 point. We picked up 3. So we closed the gap from 6 down to 4. I will tell you that the Shark team is back, people. And I believe that there is blood in the water from Arsenal, and Man City are on the hunt. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters. A very dominant display from Manchester City that puts us squarely back into the title race for the Premier League title. And I think it gives us some confidence in every competition. We're about to go into the international break. We need all of these players to get back safely. No injuries, no problems, no setbacks. So all of you that go off to international duty with your international teams or your national teams, the moment you even think you might be tight or whatever, go sit down somewhere. We have a league to chase down, trophies to win. We need each and every one of you back healthy. So that was my sports weekend, ladies and gentlemen. All of my teams actually picked up wins, and I should quickly kind of just shout out the Man City women, because they picked up a big 2-1 victory over Everton that takes them to the top of the WSL table. So they are top. The men are in second. They went top, 2-1 victory with goals from Miedema and, of course, Khadija Bunny Shaw. She is the female Holland. She is inevitable. And so I'm glad to have her. City, y'all need to get that contract re-signed quick, fast, and in a hurry. But it was a 6-point weekend for Manchester City. Both the men and the women picked up a big 3 points. And then I got big college football, American football wins from and for University of Miami Hurricanes and the home state Indiana Hoosiers. So as always, thank you again for watching this video. Do me a favor, if you haven't already, please hit those subscribe and like buttons. It does help your boy out, and I need all the help I can get as I start this new channel. Again, I'm not going away from any of the stuff that I was doing with my homies, my show bros at Shades of Blue, featuring on LB streams, featuring on Martins and Mancunian Way with their Stateside Blues. Still doing all of those things. But just wanted a place to have an additional say, do this whole YouTube thing, and see what I could do with it. So big ups to each and every one of you. Do me a favor, get into the comments. Tell me how your sports weekend went. Tell me who your team is. You can pick up wins, draws, losses, whatever it is. You got a big story or whatever, put it in the comments. Big ups to you. Appreciate you very much.